And welcome to Two Shiny Domes. I'm Shiny Dome number 1, Mark Torgerson, here at my esteemed colleague, Shiny Dome number 2, Mr. Ronald Benjamin. We're here to break down the State Cup Semifinals for you. Here to talk a little tryouts, which we've all been going through. And of course, those two amazing games in the UEFA Champions League that took place on Tuesday and Wednesday. Lots to talk about today. Ron, you excited as me for this upcoming event this weekend, so you get to the State Cup final?
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting weekend. We've got the state division games going on in Modesto, and the rest of the divisions will be at the beautiful Davis Legacy Soccer Complex.
And let's remember, everybody out there, the State Cup is the top tier, and then it drops down to Premier, Copper, Gold, Platinum, whatever it is. So if you win the Platinum 6, I hate to break that to you, you are not the State Cup champion. That is reserved for the teams that are actually in the State Cup. Please don't put that on your resume, as I get them all the time. Anyway, we've gone right. We hosted a big tournament this last weekend, and we went right into that, into tryouts. The craziness of 120 people on one field trying to pick the best 15 players out of that group. How's it going over in your neck of the woods?
It's craziness as always. You know, we've got players shipping in, shipping out, don't know what their first choices are. Usually they go on the Monday with their first choice, and if something doesn't go their way, then you might see people on Tuesday or Wednesday. So just the craziness and the player and parent shuffle going on right now.
Interesting topic, right? Would you imagine, what if they theoretically had a tryout process for like the Premier League? Just have like a big tryout, like all the best players from like Juventus and Ajax and Barcelona came over and said, I want to play for Chelsea. We're going to go to this 3-day tryout. You get to pick the best. Should it be any different? Realize they're contracts and pros, but why not have a transfer window where you can invite 3 or 4 players over to your team to train with them in a certain window allotted by NorCal? If you like them, pick them up. If not, send them back to their team.
I think that's a great idea and something that should be discussed for the future. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? And they did that over in the Champions League, and you had 1 day to pick your team.
Well,
1 day.
Over there, it'd be like, who's going to pay me the most money?
Exactly.
So it
exactly.
Might be a little bit different, but good topic for conversation, because you go out to these trials and so there's 120, and let's just say you don't know the team very well. Are you really supposed to pick the best 15 on a 3-day tryout with these massive amount of players out there? Sometimes it's easier if you've been with the team or you know the team. It gets a little simpler, but if you're brand new to it, it's just ripe for some mistakes you could make.
Right, and I think there's 2 ways to look at it too. You've got some kids that may not try out very well, and they may turn out to be fantastic players. And then you have the kids that just want to be in the uniform and have an unbelievable couple days of tryouts. They make the team, and then maybe they fizzle out as the year goes on. So I've seen both.
The funny thing is, we always, not we, but I hear the youth soccer community preach about, it's about development. Ooh, I got a new kid at tryout. Sorry, you're cut. Bring the new one on. It's like, the development. You just want an open trial and take the best ones, right?
That's the world we live in right now, unfortunately. But yeah, I think a window would be better.
How many windows would you propose? Just one window, and are you locked with that team? What if you had 2 windows, and between those 2 windows, you were not allowed to transfer, basically under any circumstances, unless maybe, say, moving?
Well, I think the hard part is now that we have a pretty set calendar. You know, you play in your league, and then you also play in your cup. And let's say that you play in your league, and then you play in the first round of cup, and then there's a window, and then you lose some kids, and then maybe your cup or league hopes are dashed. I mean, I don't know what the.
Well, I certainly think there should be cup tied, meaning if you play for one team in the cup, you can't play for another team. I think that's a good rule. And I think you should be league tied too. So if you play for one team in the league, you can't play for that different team in the same league. I think that's a fair rule, and that would kind of keep people from jumping. You could still jump, obviously, and play in tournaments and non-affiliated affiliated events. However, you would not be able to play in a competition like the Champions League or the NorCal State Cup.
I think it would be nice just to have maybe a month long where whoever wanted to come in could come in. And you after that month is up, then you can make your decision on what kids you would like to have on your team.
It is true. It's certainly a point of you said the kid that doesn't try out good. Well, I've seen plenty of kids that do try out good because the players they're playing against aren't very good.
True.
They're going to be nowhere near your first team.
Yeah.
And then you put them with the first teamers and you go, ooh, I'm stuck with this kid for a year. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
And then mom's calling me about playing time after the first weekend. I say, oh, but you only 363 more days of this.
Yeah.
Then I got to try out again to go again.
Yeah, well, we've all been through it, and I know NorCal will consistently be looking for different ways to, make it a better process.
It certainly just leads to shopping, doesn't it? I mean, it's different tryouts all going at the same time. You're just going to bounce around, as opposed to if the tryout window and they had to call the coach and ask if they could come, you could say, you know what, I've got my 15 players. We're not looking to add anybody.
Yeah. A whole nother topic which we can probably get into later is the starting of the tryout window here, like on a Monday, Tuesday, right? You're really only going to be able to get to one tryout. If it's on a Saturday, Sunday, a lot of kids are going to multiple tryouts in one day. So
it's like a race to get your tryout started first. Too.
When kids show up like 5 minutes late and they're in a full sweat already, you're like, oh, okay, you just were at another tryout. So, but again, we could debate that all day.
Well, this sounds like a topic that needs to delve a lot deeper. Viewers, twoshinydomes@gmail.com, or log on and let us know your thoughts. There might be some good solutions out there we're not thinking of.
Absolutely.
But we're not done with last season, so we'll be right back with our preview of the State Cup Semifinals. And the Two Shiny Domes are back here with our State Cup preview. I look forward to this weekend, Ron. The sun is out. The days are long. The grass is growing. May is one of the best times to play soccer. We are going to find out who will represent their club June 1st and 2nd at the State Cup Finals at Cosumnes River College. This weekend, we will be down in Modesto for the state games. The other groups will be in Davis, figuring out also who will be at Cosumnes River College, which, by the way, takes place the same day as the Champions League final, which, if you're worried, we'll be showing at Cosumnes. You can't miss anything. We were lucky enough this weekend, NorCal called English FA and asked if the games could be switched to Sunday so we could all watch the Man City and Liverpool title race. English FA said fine. We usually play these games on Saturday. We'll switch them to Sunday. So you guys are welcome. Get up 7 o'clock. Watch the Premier League.
Two Shiny Domes hold some weight around here.
I'm not going to say that, but we do. So we gave you a call to UEFA. They said they wanted on a Saturday, so we said, okay, we had games on Sunday anyway, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense to change. But, maybe next year is something we'll look into.
It all worked out.
Ready to get started on our predictions?
Absolutely.
U14 boys in a rage versus Atletico Santa Rosa and Sac United versus Davis. Pick the finalists.
Well, I will say that I did have Atletico in that side of the semifinal bracket, and you had Davis, so we got a little head-to-head here. I'm going to take Atletico, and I'm going to take Sac United to win that for a little Atletico Sac United final.
Well, I'm going to stick with Davis. No doubt they win. My boy Ollie's going to come through and get a good result. They won the Davis Legacy Super Classico last weekend, and it has big time.
They won the final like 14-1. Good job, guys.
It was 1-0 against Cal Ops, but that's all right. And I'm going to take Atletico to beat IR, so Davis Atletico in the final for me.
All right.
14 girls. We'll jump over to the girls' side. San Juan versus Marin. SF Elite versus Ajax. Not the same Ajax team that threw away a 3 goal. That's a different.
That's for later. You and I both had Marin FC getting to the semis in that side of the bracket. We did not have San Juan. I am going to go with Marin FC. And then SF Elite and Ajax. I did not have either one of those teams in that half of the semi, and you had selected SF Elite. So nice work in that. Whoa. So I'm going to say we're going to go Marin FC Ajax final. You heard it here.
I got beat last year badly, but you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling Liverpool and Tottenham comeback right now. Coming from the grave to win this one. Well, I'm obviously sticking with who I picked, so Marin and SF Elite in the final for me.
Little Region 5. Is SF Elite Region 5, boss? Oh, they're Region 1, even though right over the bridge it changes regions.
Good job. All right. You were wrong again. U15 boys, Santa Rosa versus ECFC Salinas, and Manteca versus San Juan. Manteca is the defending champs in that age group. Break it down.
All right, so in our picks, you had Santa Rosa making the semis. I, on the other hand, had both Santa Rosa and ECFC in that half of the bracket. I'm going to go with ECFC on that side, and then we both had Manteca making it to the semis, but we did not have San Juan Blue. But I'm going to stick with Manteca. I got a little vendetta against the two Shiny Dome haters out there over in San Juan. So we're going to go ECFC Manteca.
Is that the
That's a rub of the head.
is that the San Juan team that changed their game to Thursday night?
Twice, I think. There was two San Juan teams that had midweek games.
Guess they're missing some of their better players, huh?
Probably a school performance or something.
Conspiracy theory.
I don't know what's going on. We're driving that San Juan team, though. They've been super fired up because we never pick them and they keep winning.
They're going to get beat 6-0. ECFC Manteca. I'm calling the score. Manteca 6, San Juan 0. You 15 boys.
Wow. I won't go that route. So let's move on to the U15 girls.
Typical Ron sitting on the fence.
I already picked them. I picked Manteca. I just didn't give a score line.
15 girls. Clovis versus Walnut Creek, and Blues versus Marin. Marin are the defending champions and won the 14 girls last year, trying to repeat in the 15s.
You and I had both had Clovis in that side of the semi. I'm going with Clovis to win that game against Walnut Creek. Nice for Walnut Creek to reach a semi. I haven't seen that, and I can't tell you how long.
What are they called? Are they called Walnut Creek?
Walnut Creek Surf.
Oh.
The Walnut Creek Surf.
A lot of surfing in Walnut Creek? Is it rather?
Yeah, it's tons.
Is it? Okay.
And then on the other side is Blues versus Marin FC.
It's like a water park there and something. You can go to the mall and surf. All right, go.
Blues and Marin FC. We both had Blues and Marin FC in that side of the semi. So that was an even bracket pull for us. Exactly.
Yeah, Clovis beats Walnut Creek, no doubt about that. Marin, I'll take Marin over Blues.
Yep, I see a Clovis Marin final. Is Farfan coaching that group? Is that the one he took over?
I don't think he's coaching it yet. He's only going to do it for the final if they make it.
I hope Clovis wins because then all he can go is down.
That's a good point.
Down.
That's the problem with taking
Come
over.
on, Clovis.
That's the problem with taking over a good team.
Exactly.
Right?
The expectations are high.
He's going to get hammered.
Yeah,
They were in the final last year.
Exactly. All of a sudden, Farfan's calling us for a job. All right.
16 boys. ECFC versus Turlock. Heritage versus Napa. Kind of wide open age group here.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had Turlock on that side of the bracket in the semis. You did not have either team. But on the flip side of that, you have Napa reaching the semis, and I had neither team.
Ooh.
So it's a 1-for-1. I'm going to say Turlock Napa final. I think that's what it's going to be.
I actually agree. Turlock Napa in the final. I know. First
I
time
think
for
that's
everything.
the first time on two Shiny Domes that we actually agreed on something. All right. 16 girls.
16 girls. San Juan South. And it has to be the first time they've ever made a State Cup semifinal.
Absolutely.
Versus West Coast, and PSV versus the defending champs CCSA.
In that first semi, San Juan South and West Coast, neither of us had either team in that side of the bracket. Two super athletic, physical teams. It should be a war. That should be a good game to watch. And then PSV Union versus CCSA. I had both of those teams in my side of the bracket, and you just had CCSA. I'm going to pick... God. I'm going to go with Dyack and his experience in State Cups, West Coast Chaos.
Dyack, they were winning some age group 3-1 the other day, and they gave away 3 last-second goals.
That's true. But I'm going to go with West Coast Chaos and Dyack.
Wait a second. West Coast Chaos, that team was around 8 years ago.
No,
that
was the Wild.
Oh,
wow. The Wildfire.
Wildfire? That's kind of an inappropriate name lately.
God, now you're making me want to change my guess here. Now I'm going to go West Coast, and I'm going to go with CCSA, which I believe is the reigning champs. So CCSA West Coast final. What do you got?
CCSA wins 4-0, West Coast 2-0. CCSA West Coast in the final.
All right.
Bonus point for picking the correct score.
You're going to need it.
17 boys. Santa Clara Sporting versus San Juan, and the defending champs Cal Odyssey versus Ballistic.
Interesting age group. None of us picked Sporting or San Juan Blue to be in that side of the bracket. And then Ballistic, Cal Odyssey. I had Cal Odyssey, and you did not have either one. So I'm one up on that one. I'm going to take Azevedo and Company versus Cal Odyssey in the final. Are we going to agree again?
Who coaches that San Juan team? Any idea?
No.
Me neither.
Maybe Derek Evans.
Derek's a winner.
Derek is a winner.
I'm
Derek
taking
is a
San
winner.
Juan. Taking San Juan.
Azevedo, if you're watching, man, I got your back.
San Juan.
Show up in the suit.
San Juan and Cal Odyssey. You heard it here first.
All right.
Shiny Dome number 1.
U17 girls.
Vision v. Bay Oaks. Marin v. Placer. We're missing El Grove in that group, obviously, huh? Got knocked out.
They got knocked out by Marin FC 3-1 in the quarters.
Pretty sure I called that one, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I did not. You got a 1 up there. I think we're both in agreement that Vision's going to take care of Bay Oaks, even though the Bay Oaks team is pretty solid. And then,
I would agree with you slightly, not a wholeheartedly, though. That Bay Oaks is a very athletic, good team. They've been in a couple finals here, a couple late rounds in the last few years.
Yeah.
But Vision is going to beat them.
Yeah. And then Marin FC versus Placer. We're going with Placer United in that game. Stick to my guns.
That's actually a shocker. Ron picked a Placer team.
Stick to my guns. You know what? I try to be, you know how I am. I try to be even keel in the show. So we're going to go Vision Placer in the final.
Marin's going to crush Placer 3-0. Vision Marin. Unless Ron's bringing in a bunch of ringers.
Cup tie.
He's probably been doing a little recruiting pre-tryouts.
All right, U19 boys. What do you got?
Palo Alto 0-0 versus Sporting, the defending champ Sporting. And Breakers CCFA, which I actually have no idea who team it is. That part of Breakers, I don't know. V Atletico Santa Rosa.
Neither one of us had Palo Alto or Sporting in the semifinals on that half. And we both had Atletico. So I think that we're both going to take Atletico to reach the final. And going with Azevedo and company once again. He's a winner.
What is it? You sure they don't have CYSA State Cup that weekend?
They might.
Or that ended already because there's only 4 teams in it.
No, there was 3, and that ended about 3 weeks ago.
2?
Both teams go to regionals. It's great.
We should have messed the final up with that, right?
Yeah.
We should be able to pick the final.
Absolutely. 100% accuracy.
Well, I'll take Sporting, and since I have no idea who Breakers are, CCFA, Contra Costa Football Association. I don't know what it is. And I'll take ASR.
All right, sounds good. And then last but not least, U19 girls.
It says Saki versus Series. Is this? Did he put the state up there, or are we on the bronze?
Is this the bronze?
The bronze? So just checking it.
No, it's the State Cup. Sac United versus Series. Who do you got? Neither one of us obviously chose those teams to be in the semis. New DOC Jason Drury over there, cracking some whips and getting things going.
We're not giving any love to Msula for getting a team to the State Cup final.
Yeah, Msula, nice work.
Series, huh? Series is the one that came back against West Coast. I'm gonna take a draw with nobody advancing.
I am going to go with Series over Sac United, and then we got Clovis and Diablo. I think Clovis is the favorite, but I'm sticking to my guns with Diablo. Diablo Series final.
Yeah,
Who would have thunk it?
You don't seem too convinced about it. I got Sac U beating Series, because Series should have lost last round, and Clovis will beat Diablo. Sac U Clovis in the final.
All right, that sounds great. So just an overall here on the semifinal selections. Mr. Torgerson has 15 correct semifinal picks.
Sounds pretty good.
And I have 16. So I'm up 1 going into the semifinal weekend. And then just a little interesting note here, went through and checked out the number of clubs that are in the semifinals of the state division, with Marin FC and San Juan leading with 3 teams still alive in the State Cup. And then we've got Clovis, Santa Clara Sporting, ECFC, Atletico, and Sac United coming in with 2 teams apiece.
I need some winners, so if I picked you, come through for me. I'll remember it. If you don't, you're not getting picked again. See you in a second. And welcome back. Time to get serious business. This is Torg's Rant. And you know what, this week? I'm actually pretty happy. I don't have too much to rant about, Ron. Except for a couple things. Okay, first of all, I understand the referees are under a lot of pressure and they can never do anything right. But why is every time there's a foul inside the box, it's near the box, it's always outside the box? anything even remotely around the box, always get pulled to outside the box. It's like the box has now gotten 3 yards shorter. 3 yards inside the box, that happened. Coach, that's right on the line, coach. Right on the line. See it 100 times. Ref, if it's in the box, call the penalty. As long as it's not against me. 2, tryout madness. Parents, if you need to call your coach and tell him how good your kid is, they're probably not very good. It's like a car. You go buy a car, and if the guy has to convince you how good the car is, go to get a different car. Get the car you want. Quit trying to be an agent for your kids. If your kid's good, he or she will make it. If they're not, doesn't matter if you call the coach. They're not very good. It's going to be a long season. Go somewhere we're going to play. Cork's pretty happy. We'll be right back with the lightning round. Two Shiny Domes are back with our lightning round. I would say normally our producer Evan Reams here, but actually he is never here because work is not something he likes to do.
He definitely does not.
He does like to collect a check. Unfortunately, I guess we all do. Unfortunately, working to collect that check is something foreign to the younger generation, especially guys that wear tie-dye shirts with big beards.
Yeah, I think we got to figure out how to get on that program.
That's not a bad
Don't
idea,
work
actually.
and get paid? I don't know.
Write this down.
Yeah.
So figure this out here.
Could be downtown right now, Thursday, a little brunch, hanging out.
God, that sounds pretty good.
All right.
All right, lightning round us, Jason.
All right, we'll start with the Champions League since there were some amazing games this past week. So we'll start with was the Liverpool win amazing, or was it because of Liverpool being amazing, or Barca just being terrible?
No in between there, is there?
No.
Well, I'm going to take Liverpool being amazing because I think anybody that watched the first leg at the Camp Nou would agree that that was one of the most unluckiest results in the Champions League. Liverpool had a great game plan. They pressed them. They created chances. And then some little guy popped up, scored twice, and they ended up losing 3-0. However, to come back the second leg and do them 4-0 was an outstanding achievement by Liverpool.
Yeah, I thought Barcelona was terrible. They're, when you're going into a game and you can't get 4 goals scored on you. So what are you going to do to manage that game and do whatever you have to do to get yourself into the Champions League final? Kick the ball out of bounds, for crying out loud.
Ooh,
Slow down on do what you got to
do that.
Well, I know that, but you know what? They got punished because they didn't manage the game. I don't think they managed their tactics defensively. I don't think that they were super organized.
Or defend the ultimate tricky set piece.
Or the
pretending
tricky,
I'm not going to take it, they run back and take it.
Tricky set piece corner. That was just like insult to injury when that happened. Like, it was just a terrible outing for Barcelona. And to be honest with you, they didn't deserve to go through.
Liverpool did.
All right, well, we're kind of keeping in the same topic. La Liga's kind of dominated the top events the last 5 years. Which league is stronger now, in your opinion, the EPL or La Liga?
Well, I'm going to have to say right now it's going to be the EPL. They have 2 teams, obviously, in the Champions League final. And they have 2 teams in the Europa League final with both a good chance to get through. Arsenal and Chelsea play today. I could easily see them. So I can't remember the last time we've had 4 teams, if that happens, 4 teams from one league in the 2 major cup finals in Europe. So top to bottom, the money's in the Premier League right now. And I think over the last few years, you've seen that will obviously draw the best players, which has made it the best league in the world. Right now, I don't think Italy can claim it. I don't think Germany can claim it. And Spain, generally dominated by the big guns lately, cannot claim it either. Goes to the Premier League.
You've been in a few NorCal Europa League Cup finals, haven't you, in your time in the last couple of years?
I believe so.
Yeah. A couple of those copper bronze Cup finals, the Europas. Anyways, I do agree with some things that Mark has said, but I think that La Liga also is obviously a very strong league, and maybe from top to bottom a little bit more balanced, with the bottom third of their division being strong, and also the top of their second division. So I'll say La Liga, but on the flip side, you can't go against what's happening in these 2 major competition finals with all EPL teams.
All right, we're going to move on to the women's game.
The what?
Women's World Cup coming up.
Women do play soccer, Mark.
I know.
Okay.
Who is a dark horse to win this year's Women's World Cup? We'll start with Ron.
Well, hopefully USA wins it. I'll say the dark horses. I would like to think that England will probably make a nice little run, and watch out for Canada. Christine Sinclair still playing, one of the top female goal scorers in the country. So I would say England and Canada as my dark horses.
She's the top goal scorer in the country.
In the world.
Good. She's from Canada, so she's top of the country. Let me give you the dark horse.
Even though she lives in America.
Everybody out there, write this down. The biggest upset, I'm calling it right now, Thailand in the first game over the USA. I've been to Thailand. I saw them training. Trust me, the little Thais can play.
Did you actually train the team?
I'll watch training. It was a park. They had to get the dogs and stuff off first. But that's all right. Thailand.
All right, moving on.
You heard it here first.
We have this great clip of the San Juan boy rubbing his head after their win against Woodland in the State Cup quarterfinals. What are your guys' thoughts on this clip here?
We always say if we pick you, you lose. If we pick against you, the motivation factor goes through the roof. So congratulations. I'm not sure why the game was played on Thursday night again. Should have been played on Saturday.
Like everybody else.
Probably why they won. But I'm sure San Juan's going to get beat in the next round.
Wow. Hey, I think we fueled your fire, just like Mark said. Good job getting it this far, but I think that your run is going to be ending, and you will not make it to the State Cup final.
You're going to be scratching that head in disbelief.
I think he said 6-0. I didn't go that far, but is that what he said? 6-0?
Something like that. Over under.
All right, last question. So we had a El Farolito out of San Francisco. Was on SportsCenter on one of their top plays. An amateur team playing in locally in the U.S. Open Cup. Why is the U.S. Open Cup not a major media event similar to March Madness and stuff like that?
It is. I don't have the answer to that. It is a great event. Those games are all streamed on ESPN+. El Farolito plays in the NPSL, and they were down in Turlock, who is a NorCal member. Farolito beating them 2-1 to advance. So basically, every team, adult team in the United States can play in this tournament. The qualifying was back in the fall. El Farolito and Academica made it through. I can't remember the guy's name from El Farolito, but he scored an amazing goal and got kicked on the arm and broke his arm when he scored it. It was kind of a half bike, half scissors volley. It made the SportsCenter top 10, and El Farolito advances to play Fresno of the USL, but it should get more coverage. It's a great tournament.
Did he look like he took his first touch purposely to get a little bike in there? The way he kind of flicked it up to himself. That was a brilliant goal. Congratulations. We're starting to see more and more soccer clips in the top 10 on SportsCenter, which is nice. I don't know. Yeah, it would be nice if the U.S. Open Cup was blown up a little bit more, but we're finally just getting a bunch of soccer games on TV, and so I don't think they're looking at the kind of lower level games to push them up into prime time. But I think as our sport grows, I think that hopefully will be something that's put on TV more.
Fantastic. Watch the Open Cup. The games are good. Shiny Domes signing off. We'll see you at the complex this weekend and at Casumas on June 1st and 2nd. I'm Shiny Dome number 1, Mark Torgerson.
Number 2, Ron Benjamin.
Yours in soccer.